Welcome to the Making of Me podcast. Today we are joined by Jessica Taylor, author of From Tragedy to Triumph, whose life was transformed after a life-threatening brain injury, forced her to rebuild not just her memory, but her entire sense of self. It's really a pleasure to have you on the show, Jessica.
Thank you.
Jessica, describe our defining challenge as becoming the new person after life-threatening brain injury.
Well, for starters, I was a child actor in Ireland as a little girl, and I think maybe something in my system kept on that I was, actors have to have a lot of energy and determination, and that's probably a lot to do with what kept me alive. I just became a completely different person. I didn't know anything. Everything that I was taught was gone forever. I knew nothing, absolutely had to start from scratch at the age of 31. But some amazing things happened. I seemed to go on to another dimension metaphysically. It's like spirit guidance, maybe. I haven't come to full understanding of what exactly happened there, but I believe it had to be something beyond me. That's all I can tell you. Totally beyond me, because I seem to get an expanded awareness. I started being clairvoyant. These different things happened to me, even though I had lost everything that I knew and had to start all over again. It was a matter of taking my life, which a lot of brain injured people do. And you know about football, how from those guys hitting their heads all the time, a lot of them have committed suicide through injured brain cells. So it was either, for me, it was a case of, will I take my life or will I go on? Is the actor still in me? Go on, flood on, and learn everything all over again. And I did. I not only wrote my memoir, From Tragedy to Triumph,
Oh, amazing.
From Tragedy to Triumph, I wrote that to help other people understand that there are things that they can do themselves when they've had a head injury. I think maybe writing came back to me for my memoir because when I was at school, a very young girl, I excelled in English literature. I was hopeless with math and all of that anything technical, but I was really good at writing, and I wrote long essays in that. And one of the doctors that I saw said, that's something that retained in your brain cells, that ability to write. But then, so that my memoir came to me quite not easy. It was hard because I was laughing and crying throughout the whole story because I had so much trauma after my injury and during my recovery years. But then the second book, honestly, I know I couldn't have done that alone, because to this day, if I read that book, I just say, who the hell wrote this? I can't believe I could have possibly written that book, A Spiritual Awakening. I had to. Do you believe that there are guides who help us in life? Spiritual guides that help us? I'm glad you do, because I am 100% sure that they helped me, because it took 20 years research. And of all things, what I want the Head Injury Organization of the World to know, that it was the 20-year research, which was hard graft, woke up a lot of dormant neurons in my brain and helped me a great deal. I tell other people now, head injured people, for heaven's sake, do something. Don't just sit back and let it happen. Yeah. Get out there, do some research. I don't care what it is. Research the earth, research God, research sex, research whatever you want. Just to have something to do every day with your brain. It's like a brain exercise. We need to exercise the brain. We're always told that we need to exercise the body. That's emphasized so much, but we don't hear people saying exercise the brain. And that has got to be done for everyone, let alone brain injured people, but especially brain injured people. But what I learned, my memoir is shared with people to help others understand that what I did to help myself after a brain injury. And the second book, A Spiritual Awakening, is to help people understand that they're a what, not just a who. We are, reincarnated beings, and we're part of the universe. Like First Nation people believe, everything is connected. We're connected to each other, and we're connected to nature and the universe in general. And now I love it. I'm a movie buff. I watch movies every night. That's my switch off. And I notice now that the universe in the script, they're not saying God will help people or is help. They're saying the universe is doing it. So it's like the universe is God. The God of the church is the actual universe. And I have written in my second book, Spiritual Awakening, that I believe there is a God consciousness from the planet that is directly connected with all life, not just us humans, but every animal, every insect, every flower, every tree. Like everything is all one. Would you believe that yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Jessica, this is really amazing. Yeah, isolation seems to be part of your stories. How did loneliness shape your inner world during those years?
Well, because again, through my 20-year research on all church philosophy and dogmas and everything else, I realized that we're never alone because we have our spirit guides. They're with us all the time. We have guides and we can speak with them, and we can feel that wonderful connection with the universe as God, and know that, because we're all one, my belief that we're all one, we're never alone. We're together with every person on every continent and every country in the world. We're all one. So that helped me a great deal. And then I studied people like Roman emperors in the past, like Justinian, who put a list of curses out for people not to believe in reincarnation. I've actually put the entire list of curses in my second book, A Spiritual Awakening, that he put out, and that 1,500 years ago, 2,000 years ago almost, stopped people believing in reincarnation. But yet others, like the Gnostics and the Essenes, those wonderful people who should be, children should be taught at school of what they did, believed in, and wrote about.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for telling us your stories and bringing it into perspective, being knowing fully that the universe is fully involved in everything we get to do. Now at 87, you are still learning and teaching.
Yes.
How has
Yes.
aging added a new layer of meanings to your job?
Well, my books are my teaching, and people come to me as well, especially since The Spiritual Awakening was published. People are saying that the book is giving them a new perception of what life is all about and helping them a great deal. And I feel that, children at school should be taught more than they're being taught. They should know about people like the wonderful Essenes, and Jesus was one of them, and the Gnostics who wrote scriptures, and there's books now galore all about the Essenes and the Gnostics, and they're wonderful works. In other words, they speak of the soul, which we know now the soul is for real. We have a soul, and just knowing that we have a soul is an important thing for students to understand, but that's not taught at schools either. You are a soul, and that's it. And you come back from incarnation to incarnation through the power of that soul, which is something on that same connection, is a part of that same connection with the universe, the God consciousness state of the universe. I mean, everything has consciousness. Every animal is conscious. Look at how they can feel, they can think, they have emotions, just like us. We can't distance ourselves from that knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Amazing.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Also, lastly, for someone learning who is facing a sudden life altering diagnosis, what would you gently remind them about patient identity and for those who are passing through a whole lot of our diagnosis, one complication or the other, what would you gently remind them about patient identity and hope?
Oh, no, that's nice. I'm not sure about the patients, but identity and hope for real, to know that they are one with that God consciousness, one with each other, one with nature, and be careful about all technical problems and even using the cell phone. I mean, one day I was out to dinner with a friend, and on the next table there was a whole family, like 2 children, father and mother, or 3 children actually, and they were all on their cell phones. Have we stopped speaking to each other anymore? This technicality going on, we're not looking at nature and loving each other and everything like we should. I don't know how you feel about that in Nigeria. Everybody using their cell phones when they're out to dinner instead of talking with each other.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Jessica. From your book and from your analogy, there's really a whole lot to actually learn from your book, and it's really amazing. So, just for my audience who want to learn more from you, who want to get your book, how can they reach out to you, and where is the best platform?
Well, I have a website, jessicaetaylor.org. org, and also on Amazon worldwide. Both my books are there for anybody to get.
Yeah,
Amazon.
thank you so much.
Amazon is my publisher, by the way.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, Jessica, thank you for sharing your wisdom and resilience with us today. For those actually want to reach out to Jessica, you can reach out to her at jessicaetaylor.org. It's going to be on the show notes so that you can easily reach out. So once again, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. Jessica.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.